Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Genshin Gamer video on Genshin Impact. Today we'll be doing a version 2.0 update to my C6 Diluc Showcase. We'll be discussing his attributes, his weapon, his constellations, talents, artifacts, and then I'll be showing you the most damaging Diluc Showcase around. Anyways, stick around till the very end as I'll be giving you a sneak peek into my upcoming content that you won't want to miss, as well as I'll be giving a link into where the combat starts below. Finally, I wanted to thank you all very much for all of your support in my prior videos, and I hope you enjoy the video. First, let's kick things off with the attributes. So first off, my Diluc's level 90. He's rocking a attack percentage clock, a power percentage goblet, as well as a crit damage hat. He's got 34 attack power, 107 elemental mastery, 54.9% crit rate, which he gets from Ascendancy, as well as I've got some pretty decent subs. 132.4% crit damage. I've got some pretty awesome subs for that as well. He's rocking the Witches Crimson Witch set, so he's got 61.6% pyro damage in conjunction with the goblet. And then we'll kind of hop into his weapon next. So I've got Refinement Rank 5, level 90, Wolf's Gravestone. This weapon is sick. There's been a ton of YouTubers that have kind of covered this, so I'll just briefly go over this. But the ability here is the best ability for a weapon in the entire game, in my opinion. The amount of snapshotting that you can do with this, we'll just kind of briefly read it. Increases attack by 40%, which is already huge. But also, its proc on hit against enemies with less than 30% HP, increase all members' attack by 8% for 12 seconds. Can only occur once every 30 seconds. This ability is huge. Unfortunately, we don't get to really see it very much in my videos, as I tend to not get that 30% threshold as I'm killing the mobs, unfortunately, just a little too quickly. But for a normal player, or if we're in the higher levels of the Abyss, this thing is freaking sweet, and you can definitely utilize this ability. So if you're lucky to have one, congratulations. So next off, we'll go into the artifacts. So I am rocking the 4-piece of Crimson Witch set. It's too sweet for Diluc not to run, and I highly recommend all of you run it as well if you can. What it does is increases pyro damage at the 2 set, but also it has a stacking ability where it's going to increase the 2 set, as well as it increases, your elemental reactions by 40%. This is awesome for Diluc, as he's able to stack it up 3 times with his E, and then, have increased pyro damage thereafter. It's really sweet. I'll kind of briefly thumb through some of the artifacts that I have for Diluc. As you can see, a lot of these subs are pretty insane, as I've been farming gear ever since rank 40, adventure rank 40, and I'm now adventure rank 51. If that just kind of goes you briefly into how much I've been farming gear, in my opinion, that's kind of the big piece of the end game here at Genshin Impact, and you guys should definitely be farming stuff as well if you can. Because the character levels and character, weapon levels will come, but the gear is like the more you do it, the better it'll be, and the better off you'll be as well. And as well as I'll be having a video just kind of showing off all of the nuances that people don't realize that gear have, like certain ranges that it can roll, and just how to best optimize your characters in the near future. So we'll next hop into his talents. So I've got Diluc's normal attack at level 7. And here's just kind of the damage scaling for that. I've got his E ability at level 12. There's the scaling for that. And then finally his ultimate ability, which hopefully soon here I'll have at level 12 as well. So next up, we've got the Constellations. And I won't talk too long, as I'll leave the description for my first video in here where it kind of dives more deep into these constellations. But yeah, we've got the Constellation 1. Diluc deals 15% more damage to enemies whose HP is above 50%. That's awesome, and it's definitely utilized in this video, as he just does increased damage right off the bat, and it's amazing. There's really nothing else to say about this. Pure damage increase. As well as this one. When Diluc takes damage, his attack increases by 10%, and his attack speed increases by 5%, lasts for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 3 times and can only occur once every 1.5 seconds. A lot of the times, Diluc is taking damage, and even if you honestly set yourself on fire, this ability comes into play, because it'll just stack up to 3 times, and in combat, you probably will have it at max stacks pretty much constantly, giving you a 30% increase of attack, as well as 15% increase attack speed, which is amazing. So if you're lucky enough to have Diluc at Constellation 2, it's pretty sweet. Then we have a ability upgrade, which honestly equates to about 45% ability damage at the very end. And this is pretty sweet, and I hope you guys don't downplay this if you're able to get this on, your 4 or 5 stars. It's really nice, and you're going to start to see it towards the very end as well when people are capping out their abilities. Meanwhile, you're going to 15 instead of 12. So next up we have Flowing Flame. Casting Searing Onslaught in sequence greatly increases damage dealt within 2 seconds of using Searing Onslaught. Casting the next Searing Onslaught in the combo deals 40% additional damage. This effect lasts for the next 2 seconds. This is awesome. Basically what this means is if you're going to use your E in conjunction with another E within the next 2 seconds, it's going to deal 40% additional damage. And it'll make your last one do the same 40% if cast within 2 seconds of your second one. An amazing ability, and this is probably his most increasing damage ability for as far as his constellations go. Next up we have his damage increase to his ultimate ability, which at this point does a lot more increased damage. I think it equates to about roughly almost 150% attack or ability damage for almost every ultimate. And this thing's sweet to get up there, and be very lucky if you have this or for any other character as well. And then finally we have the Flaming Sword Nemesis of Dark. After casting Searing Onslaught, the next 2 normal attacks within the next 6 seconds will have their damage and attack speed increased by 30%. Additionally, Searing Onslaught will not interrupt the normal attack combo. This is nice, and where it comes into play, in my opinion, for the highest optimized damage is after you use your ultimate ability. You then go into an E combo where you then use 2 auto attacks between every one of your E's, as it not only increases the damage done, and you're doing pyro damage at that point because you just use your ultimate, but it also increases the attack speed, which is really nice, and you can really start to crank out some damage. In fact, his auto attacks start to do more damage than anything once you utilize this ability correct, and if the fight's long enough. That's the problem, is you tend not to find enough fights that the enemies have enough HP to really utilize this ability. But yeah, so finally, we'll kind of hop into the showcase. We'll show you what Big Daddy D can really do.
判決を下す。天道、ここにあり。みんながそばにいてくれるわ。絆。運命よ、ここにいてよ。火炎よ、燃やし尽くす。もっと早く。いて。みんながそばにいてくれるわ。傷なんていた。いて。運命よ、ここにいてよ。判決を下す。全力攻撃だ。運命には逆らえません。判決を下す。みんながそばに。運命よ、ここにいてよ。判決を下す。へっへっ。シャツを見ちゃう。みんなは俺が守れ。これが運命です。判決を下す。みんなは俺が
戦火を開け、権限せよ。運命には逆らいません。
裁きを受けよ。岩山八九。全力攻撃だ。
これが運命です。
判決を下す。
Now that's what I call a lot of damage. So thanks for sticking around, and thank you very much for all the support in the first video. So without further ado, let's hop into the sneak preview of the upcoming videos. Please like, subscribe, and comment below and let me know if you're excited for the upcoming videos. Until next time, Gaijin Gamer, signing out.